Hi, I'm Hannah.
Hello, I'm Jack Howard.
And today we're talking about consent.
Am I? I don't know.
So sex and relationships, regardless of your gender, sexual orientation, can be really difficult, especially when you're going through puberty. And that's when consent can kind of come into play.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. Why not? We should talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, whoever isn't talking about it is doing it wrong, and that's sort of a big part of it, I think.
It can be a really tricky topic to talk about, and quite a rare topic to talk about. A lot of people avoid it. Why don't you tell me what consent is?
For me, it's basically both parties being comfortable in a sexual experience. It's both people wanting to be there, making it clear that they want to be there, both verbally and through their actions. Consent isn't just somebody saying no, it's their body, the way that they're, if they seem to be a bit not sure if they want to do it. I feel like it's always the other person's responsibility to pick up on those signs, and if you're not, that's a problem.
Of course, as a young person, the age of consent officially is 16, but you are likely to encounter all kinds of different situations and relationships earlier than that.
Yep.
And it's really important to understand exactly what you're saying, that it has to be, you have to be paying attention to body language, what people are saying, and everything that goes with that.
Completely, yeah.
So for example, if you agree to kiss someone, that doesn't mean that they can then do anything else, go further,
Yeah, it's
take
not
your
like a
clothes
gateway into everything. It's not nothing like that. Obviously, one thing can lead to another quite naturally, and if both people are comfortable with that, that can be okay, especially if you're of the age of consent. Also, as well, I feel like if you're in a relationship with somebody, and you've had sex with them before, that doesn't necessarily mean you get to do it every time you want to. Certain moods and certain people, they might not like you anymore or anything. There's so many scenarios that it could be. But yeah, I think that's important to point out as well. Just because you've been able to do it once doesn't mean that you're allowed to do it forever.
So of course there are reasons why somebody might not be able to give consent. They might be unconscious, asleep, they might be drunk. And
drunk's a big one, isn't it? Like, it seems to be a big part of the culture, is that and it seems weird to me now that in movies, when people say oh, I was drunk and I did this, it's like, that's not a good message at all. It's sort of become weirder to me the more aware I've become of all of this and the more educated I've become on the topic. If you're in that situation and you are around somebody who looks like they might be getting themselves into trouble, or if somebody might be getting them into trouble, then I think it's your responsibility as a third party to step in and do something about it.
It's also true that you can withdraw consent at any time. You might have said yes, but you might have changed your mind. You might not be comfortable anymore. And it's really important to kind of keep that constant communication between you and your partner.
Completely, yeah. If you're doing something and you go, I've already said yes to this, that's always awkward, but it's not worth not saying something about it. And I know it's also the other person's responsibility to notice the change in body language and things like that, but also if you're doing something you don't like, then please do say that as well. Actually, I'm not ready for this yet, or I don't want this. And if somebody says that to you, don't get in a bloody mood about it. Don't be like, oh, well, you said yes. Don't do that. Be understanding and caring about that person. Yeah. Be a good person. It's not hard, is it?
How can we make sure that we communicate really well and make sure that we understand consent from another person?
I think it's important to keep talking throughout what you're doing and asking you, can I put my hand there? Can you do? Is it okay if I do this? Does this feel good? Those are sort of questions you should ask. And also, communication during sex is a sexy thing. You don't have to be very sort of stiff upper lip about it and be like, do you like that? Good, I'll carry on. It's a very kind of, you can turn it into playful talk as well.
And regardless of your gender or your sexuality, what you look like, what you're wearing, it doesn't ever give someone permission to touch you or do sexual things with you. As we've said, you always have to give your consent. So we've talked a lot about consent. It can sound really scary, but it doesn't have to be this big kind of scary thing.
It's not complicated. I think that's the thing, is that everyone sort of, at least before you get involved in the discussion, you sort of might think it's a big, scary, complicated thing, but it's really not. And I think as well, it's a way of getting to know yourself better. if you and a partner talk about consent and whether or not you want to do certain things, you get to know yourself better. So in a way, it's sort of empowering. And you'll get to know what you like and dislike, and therefore, sex will be better, and also, you'll be safe and stuff, and that's always good. There's nothing sexier than two people being in that moment together and understanding that you both comfortably want to be there. So yes, it is. It's empowering both individually and as a pair or a trio or whatever you're into. Like in the bedroom, it's up to you.
Like you say, not about no, but about a really enthusiastic yes. Thank you, Jack, for coming in and talking to us today about consent.
Not a problem, Hannah. It's been a pleasure.
See you next time. Bye.